Hi and welcome to Casual DIY channel. In today's episode we'll be making a meat board. So basically you're having your Sunday roast, you're not too sure what to serve it on. This is perfect solution for you. So stay tuned and have a look how I make one. This project I will be using a nice big slab of mahogany. Obviously I'm going to be cutting it to the right size. So what I'm thinking, the biggest problem with a meat board is the juices. So we need to make sure the juices come from underneath the meat and go into like a little pool that's located on the board itself. So I've got a couple of ideas how I'm going to make that. So stay tuned and let's make a meat board. So the board I'm using has got no straight edges at all. So the first task to do, we'll mark a straight line that's going to go across like this. And I'm going to use my circular saw to make the first cut so you got one nice clean straight edge. As always, remember your safety gear. First straight edge. Now I'm going to determine how wide I want the board. Again, use the same method to cut it off from the larger piece. And the front of the board I will sort out nicely and neatly on my table saw. So I've got the chunk of the board I need for the meat board. What I also need to do now is make sure the other two edges are, well, straight really. So to do that I'm going to use my table saw with the sled. And now the board is square, in the right size, exactly what we need so we can carry on working with it. Meat board. So what makes it special and unique and different from any other serving boards? Well, basically when you put your meat, it's full of fluid and full of juices, and that's what you want. You don't want a dry meat. So basically what we're going to do on this board, we will put a channel right along all the edges, and on one of the sides we make like a pool for all the fluid to gather. Obviously to do that we're also going to put some channels right across the board like this, but how to make the fluid to go actually down to the pool itself? Well, basically what I thought of, all the channels will be under an angle, so they're going to start bit less, the deepness will be lesser on the top of the board, and obviously as we go down towards the pool the channels will be deeper, so the gravity will basically do the job. So let's have a look if we're going to be able to achieve this. Now then, I've established where the lines are going to go on the board, and I made this very quick jig that's going to help me out to make all the grooves in the board. I'm going to be using obviously my router to go in there. I'm just going to show you what bit I've got in the router head. As you can see, the whole jig is now set up. I've got the stop blocks at the both sides. Now the first cut, this is like the end of the board where the pull is on the other side. So on this side, obviously that will have one depth, and then we'll be increasing the depth as we go towards the end of the board. So this came out quite nice, better than I expected. Okay, so the first groove is now sorted. Now obviously we need to do the rest of them, but the question is how we're going to scale it, how we're going to do that, all of them equally going to go down to the same depth, like increasing the depth from top right to the bottom. So basically, again, I'm going to be using my quick router jig. What we're going to do, very simple, we're just going to put something underneath from one side, clamp it from both sides, and that's the way we're going to achieve the groove going deeper and deeper and deeper. So let's have a look if it's going to work. The difference between the levels from top to bottom, they don't need to be massive. It's just enough for the juices to come down. So basically I'm going to use these two offcuts really, boards. I'm going to put them underneath my jig, and that should be enough to make the juices flow down. So let's have a look. As you can see, all the channels are now cut out, including the tray for the sauces from the meat. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to use my router again, but this time on a router table, to do a chamfer on the back side of the board, just to give it a nice touch, and it will be a bit easy to grab. meat board is now finished. The final size and the shape is done. So we've got all the channels for the fluid from our meats, and the chamfer at the back, easy to grab the board, and it looks really cool. So basically the last thing I need to do is sand it all down. So basically I'm going to go through grit 80, 120, 180, and at that point I'm going to spray the whole board with some water, and that will allow the grain to come up, and again sand it again with 180. After that we'll proceed to 220. After I may repeat a couple of times the water bit because you know, the board needs to be absolutely smooth. So basically I'll see you in a second when all the sanding is done. And here we are, guys. So this is the final stage of the meat board build. We're going to be applying some food safe finish to it. Personally my favourite, because it really shows the wood coming alive. So how we're going to do this, I'm going to be using mineral oil to start with, probably 3 or 4 coats depending on how the wood will be sucking the oil in. So I'm going to be leaving about half an hour to 1 hour in between coats, and then at the end I will leave it for about 24 hours to dry with the mineral oil, and then tomorrow I'll come and apply my mix. So the mix is with, you got some mineral oil again as a base ingredient, then you've got coconut oil, and you've got some beeswax. So that will give a nice protective layer. Again, probably about 3 coats of that, making sure that the board will last you a lot longer and you will not have to like refinish the board so often. So right, let's get to it. Let's see how this little board comes alive. And there you have it, beautiful meat board. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, as I will be posting new videos each week. So see you on the next project.